Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fourth annual session of the 55th Annual Convocation Ceremony of Sinclair College Applied Arts and Technology. I am Jimmy Parsons, Chair, School of Media, Art and Design, and it is my pleasure to act as Master of Ceremonies for today's program. Sinclair College would like to respectfully recognize and acknowledge that it occupies the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of the Three Fires Confederacy, territories of Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. We acknowledge the many other tribes and indigenous nations that call this beautiful land home. We give thanks to the land and surrounding water for sustaining us. Would you please rise, if able, to join in singing of O Canada, performed by music theater performance student Lauren Hyman. Thank you, Lauren. Please be seated. I would like to acknowledge and thank today's piper, Andrew Kale, interpreters, Kellyanne LaFleur and Paige Lemery. Before we begin the formal part of our ceremony, I'd like to make a few announcements. We're pleased to advise you that your TV, locally on Cogeco Cable, will air this session of Convocation. For times, visit sinclairalumni.com. We're also streaming this session live at www.stclaircollege.ca. Please set your cell phones to silent during the ceremony, and guests are asked to remain in their seats during graduation. We also ask that the graduates stay in their seat until the ceremony is complete. I would now like to introduce the members of the Board of Governors who are with us today. I would ask that they please remain standing if able until after the members of the college administration are also introduced. Jean Picinato, Vice Chair, Warren Beck, Renu Khosla, and Charlie Hoffman. And today's guest speaker, Will Bigelow, Alumni of Distinction 2021. I would also like to introduce members of the college administration, President Patty France, Wasim Habash, Senior Vice President, Academic and College Operation, John Fairley, Vice President, College Communications, Community Relations, and Executive Director, Foundation, Mark Jones, Vice President, Finance and Chief Financial Officer, Ron Segan, Vice President, International Relations, Campus Development and Student Services, Joe Sirianni, Vice President, Human Resources, Safety, Security, Facilities Management, Michael Salvaggi, Vice President, Academic and Registrar, Lindy Prindy, Executive Director, Center for the Academic Excellence and Quality Assurance, Anthony Mancini, Chair, Zuckerman School of Business, Ruth Susanna, Zuckman School of Information Technology, and from our Alumni Association, Ryan Peoples. I would now like to call upon St. Clair College President Patty France to provide opening remarks.
Thank you, Jimmy. On behalf of the college's administration and the entire St. Clair College family of employees, it is a pleasure to welcome all of you to this convocation ceremony as we celebrate the achievements of the newest graduates in the school's 55 years long history. This is the first in-person convocation that we've had in over 2 years. We've awarded diplomas to several thousand new graduates by means of online ceremonies throughout the pandemic, but we're so very happy to again have the opportunity to share some mask-free smiles during the stage crossing process. The theme of my remarks to you is once upon a time. That may be one of the very first phrases that you remembered from your childhood adventures of learning to read, and that was your first experience of an educational nature. Whether it was a loving parent or an enthusiastic teacher reading you an exciting and entertaining fairy tale, pointing with a finger to each word to foster your understanding. It was then, during that once upon a time, that you acquired your love of learning. More recently, once upon a time, a year or two ago, you enrolled at St. Clair to pursue that love of learning in a much more formal manner, with the associated goal of laying the groundwork for a career. To be truly fascinating and inspirational, every story needs a bit of drama in the form of obstacles to be overcome, challenges to be met, perhaps a villain to be vanquished. In your case, that villain was a virus, which created both a local and global pandemic. Throughout your post-secondary experience, it created, at best, an irritating degree of inconvenience, and at worst, an alarming level of stress. Despite that, here you are, at the conclusion of a remarkable quest. Pursuing your education in the midst of the pandemic required you to boost your academic concentration to an extreme degree. You are now holding a diploma that symbolizes not only your scholastic achievement, but your tremendous personal tenacity. You are truly the hero in this once-upon-a-time tale, having overcome a monstrous virus to accomplish your post-secondary goal. With your hard-earned St. Clair education in hand, you will now set off into the world to enjoy rewarding careers and to make caring contributions to your community as involved citizens. In addition to your diploma, as a symbol of your accomplishment, we'll also be presenting you with a special keepsake, your Griffin Wings lapel pin. For those of you who may not know, the griffin is a mythical beast from ancient Greece. It has the body, tail, and rear legs of a lion, the king of animals, and the head, talons, and wings of an eagle, the king of birds. You will find its full body depicted on your liripipe and on the college's official crest on your diplomas. It has been our official emblem since the college's founding in 1967 because it also is associated with the name St. Clair. The Griffin was the name on the ship captained by the French explorer La Salle on August 12, 1679. He was the first European to sail up the Detroit River and into the body of water to the northeast of Windsor. That was the feast day of the Roman Catholic saint, St. Clair. So he named the lake in her honor. When the college too chose the name St. Clair, it also adopted the symbol of La Salle's ship as its official mascot. Of all of the various parts of the griffin, why did we choose the wings to create the pin? Because the image of taking flight also ties into a modern-day element of the college, namely our marketing motto of rise above the ordinary. You have certainly done that during the course of your educations, meeting all of your professors' academic expectations and demands. Indeed, You rose above the extraordinary in view of the fact that you completed your educations in the midst of a global pandemic. Besides, every once upon a time fable needs an exciting, courageous, powerful creature like a griffin, don't you think? There's one other reason for us to be very happy about our ability to stage in-person convocations again. We can be joined by the guests of our graduates, the family members and friends who have provided such essential support and encouragement throughout this educational journey. This ceremony is very much a celebration of your important role in this once-upon-a-time adventure as well, and we're thrilled that you're with us here today. This comes to the conclusion of my remarks, but you have not come to the conclusion of your once-upon-a-time story of today's graduates. You are simply ending one exciting chapter and turning the page to a lifelong series of thrilling and rewarding experiences, both professionally and personally. Congratulations, graduates. We truly wish you all the very best.
I would now like to call upon Renu Khosla, member of the Board of Governors, to deliver greetings from the board.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. In a few minutes, all of you will walk out of this theater as official St. Clair College Saints and graduates of our school. Before you do, however, it is my privilege to say a few words about the path ahead. With your St. Clair College diploma, you have earned a credential that demonstrates exceptional achievement in any year. But this past year, you have overcome challenges that you could not have ever imagined when you began your studies. You, your families, and your friends can be very proud of what you've accomplished, and you can be sure that the strengths you've demonstrated will serve you well in the years ahead. If I had only one quality to provide to you today that matters across the many dimensions of achievement and talent, it would be persistence, the ability and drive to keep going when things get tough. To achieve these goals, we have to find ways to continue moving forward, even when, especially when, obstacles seem insurmountable and pressing on appears to be exhausting or daunting. You earned your diplomas, certificates, and accreditation in your education because you persisted. I hope that today and in the weeks ahead, as you celebrate your education, you will take time to thank the friends, family members, teachers, mentors, and other people who helped you cross the finish line. And in that spirit, I hope as you pursue quests and adventures beyond this campus, you will help others cross the finish line as you have done so remarkably yourself. I know that whatever you do, you will make St. Clair College proud and put your talents, creativity, and character to work in the ways we can scarcely imagine today. We send our best wishes and thanks to our faculty for investing in you over the past couple of years as you embark on the new path that's ahead. Rise up, class of 2022, as the newest members of Saints Nation and proudly take your place wherever you are needed throughout Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent, the Greater Toronto Area, and beyond. Well done and congratulations.
I would now like to reintroduce John Fairley, Vice President, College Communications and Community Relations and Executive Director, St. Clair College Foundation, who will introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning, everybody. Let you know that Will Bigelow, our speaker today, was born here in Windsor, Ontario, and was often told throughout the years how creative he was. So upon graduating high school, he chose to enroll in the Sinclair College Tradigital Animation program to further develop his skill. At first, the program focused on traditional animation, and his teachers mentored him and drew from their real-life experiences as people in the industry and taught to him. Later in the program, he found his niche when 3D platforms were incorporated into his curriculum. After graduating from the college, he joined Baron Ring Championship Rings in 2011 as a graphic designer. Throughout his tenure, similar to his creative process, which evolved, so did his position at Baron Rings. In 2017, he moved into the role of concept artist, and in 2019, he was promoted into his current leadership role of technical art director, where he is proud to work alongside many other alumni of the college at Baron Rings. The use of 3D printing technology has enabled Baron Championship Rings to harness the creativity, push for the current boundaries of jewelry design, and grow into a key player in the industry. Now, their portfolio includes Hockey Canada rings, the championship rings for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers, Hockey Hall of Fame, Toronto FC, the Los Angeles Sparks, the Seattle Storm, and, you know, the Toronto Raptors championship ring. All of those rings Will had a lead in the design of. So forever known around our world as the person who helped design the Toronto Raptors championship rings of recent, he also designs all of our Sinclair College Athletics Championship Saints rings too. And the rings that you could buy today, just as a little commercial, that you could buy today. But Will has been a faithful supporter and a trainer of alumni who come to work there and have job placement at Baron Rings, and we are appreciative of their partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Will Bigelow.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank President France and the college for having me here to speak, to share some of my journey with you and offer some advice. Graduation is a special day. It's exciting and marks this big change that's happening right now, transitioning from student to working. I'm a graduate of the 2006 Tradigital Animation program. I grew up loving to draw, sculpt, watch movies, play video games, and also was a goalie in hockey. Going into college, I was sure I wanted to work on movies or design video games for a living. Even though at the time, Windsor was mostly known for being an automotive industry and not its 3D design and animation. So at times, I felt unsure what was next. Spun my wheels a bit after graduation. The job market was uncertain, and opportunities in my field seemed scarce. I bring up this tough time for me because I want you all to know it will be okay. The learning never stops, right? Sometimes learning is fun, sometimes it's really, really hard. And some lessons you just have to learn outside the classroom. It's normal. You go from knowing where to go to learn, having courses, teachers, close friends, knowing you have to study, and suddenly you graduate. Overnight, it's a brand new game. Luckily, you attended Sinclair College and have the tools to succeed. But the world doesn't always have a light shining or pointing on what to do next. How do you know where to go? How do you find it? For me, I had to review my resume and portfolio. A resume doesn't have to list every task that you have ever done, but it could help show your interest on what you want to do for potential employers. Start small, find, then list the first thing on your resume related to your field. For me, that first thing was a simple logo design for a local baseball park. It went well. It had taken me a while longer, but then I found a posting for a graphic designer job at Barron Championship Rings. It involved 3D design too, in Windsor. I was extremely excited to find this opportunity so close to home. I applied and was hired. One of the first clients I worked with requested a drawing to be converted to pendant jewelry artwork. In all honesty, I felt overwhelmed. Tried to remember everything I had learned, but wasn't sure how it would go. I remember trying a trick that I learned in class that wasn't done at the company before to complete the task. I took a bit of a chance. The next day, my employer said the artwork brought tears to the client's eyes. In a good way, though. To hear that, having that knowledge you graduated with can simply just work. It was a great feeling and it boosted my confidence. You all have this same ability. You are all graduates. You have what it takes. Now fast forward to today. Anything I design in the computer can be 3D printed, prototyped, and made into reality. The clients John alluded to that I have designed today include Hockey Hall of Fame, the Blue Bombers, LA Sparks, Seattle Storm, Toronto FC, Toronto Marlies, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors, and also all the jewelry for Sinclair College athletes and graduates. Today, I see a different world than when I graduated. You're coming into the workforce, and many of you can work remotely, which is good and broadens the job opportunities. Don't be afraid to take a step into another field, too. My first position at Barron wasn't in animation after all. I was a graphic designer, then concept artist, and now I'm currently the technical art director. I'm also a proud Alumni Distinction Award recipient. And receiving this high honor at the college after working in my field for 10 years was one of my proudest accomplishments to date. For those innovative ideas I took chances with. The universe has also blessed me with a wife and daughter who love and inspire me. I hope all of you have such special people in your lives as Allison and Evie are to me. It makes the journey a lot easier and a lot more fun. In closing, there will still be learning ahead, but if you find yourself spiraling, just focus on that one thing that you want to do. Be open to new ideas or roles, and remember, everyone is rooting for you. It will be okay. You got this. Thank you, and congratulations.
I would now like to reintroduce Senior Vice President, Academic and College Operations, Wasim Habash, to acknowledge our award winners.
Good morning, everyone. The Faculty Academic Award is designed to recognize the graduating student in each program, full-time or part-time, who has best demonstrated academic excellence. The Student Leadership Award recognizes the graduating student in each program, again, full-time or part-time, who best combines academic achievement and leadership. Could I please ask the recipients of the Academic Faculty Award and the Student Leadership Award to please stand so you could be recognized. Great job, thank you. Graduates, congratulations on receiving your diplomas and certificates today. Convocation is the formal celebration of your achievement. You have worked very hard, so celebrate this accomplishment. It is most deserving. There is, however, one other group here today that also deserve to be recognized. These are the remarkable, dedicated faculty here at Sinclair College who have contributed to your success. And they are sitting right there in the front row to my left. Graduates, I would ask that you please join me in a standing ovation to thank your faculty for your contributions.
Thank you, Wasim. We have come to the formal part of the ceremony where the diplomas, certificates, and degrees will be awarded and become official documents of the college. I would ask the graduates please stand if able. Graduates, please stand if able. I would like to call upon President France and Vice President, Academic and Registrar Michael Salvaggi to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Madam President, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates here assembled have qualified in all respects for diplomas, certificates, and degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by several divisions of St. Clair College. They have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded diplomas in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of St. Clair College, I do hereby confer on you your respective diplomas, certificates, and degrees with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Madam President, on behalf of the graduates not present, I request that you confer their diplomas, certificates, and degrees in absentia.
I so do.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, during the next part of the program, we will present the graduates individually to the Board of Governors and President France to receive congratulations. While the first of our graduates are making their way to the stage, I would like to tell you about our stole and our gavel. The stole draped over the graduate's shoulder signifies acceptance into the community of St. Clair College. This newly designed stole replaces previous Lear pipe, which was draped over the left shoulder. The stole is a band of green velvet edged with gold braid, embroidered with the St. Clair College griffin. Graduation stoles are sashes to be worn draped over the shoulders at a commencement ceremony to denote achievement in academics. This stole is a modification of the academic hood originating in a 15th century Europe in the age of great artists, scholars, and explorers of the Renaissance. Today, the stole symbolizes recognition of an individual who is now prepared to assume a responsibility and creative role in the community. In 1966, unlike many of the 19 colleges created, St. Clair College had the advantage of building upon the graduates of the Western Ontario Institute of Technology, otherwise known as WOIT. There was a small group of graduates of the Western Ontario Institute of Technology meeting in their homes. The college president at the time, Dr. R.C. Quintenton, inquired the group to start a college alumni association. When St. Clair College was created, the technology classes were all held in the former WOIT facility at 815 Mercer Street in downtown Windsor. The facility was a former elementary school which had been condemned many years earlier. The college began to build at Green Acres, now South Campus. The technology classes were moved, and eventually the Mercer Street building, with all of its memories and idiosyncrasies, was demolished. A small number of bricks, moldings, and newel posts were saved as souvenirs. When the St. Clair College Alumni Association began to function, the founding Alumni Association Director, Bill Totten, salvaged the saved material and used the college carpenter shop, created a gavel and sounding block using the molding, newel post, and a brick. In 2022, the Convocation Committee looked at creating a new tradition for our president. The gavel from the original WOIT building was wrapped in the graduation stole by our very own fashion design students. The gavel introduced at the 2022 ceremony will be tapped on the shoulder of our graduates by our president. Members of the Board of Governors, on the recommendation of our teaching faculty, it is my pleasure to present you the graduates for diplomas, certificates, and degrees from the School of Media, Art, and Design. I have the honor to present the graduates in the Advertising and Marketing Communications program.
Lucas Allard, Luz Angela Anzola, Caitlin Collins, Ararsa Kitaba, Tolani Okutiang, Emily Roback, Zoe Lynn Taylor,
This concludes the graduates in the Advertising and Marketing Communications program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the Animation 2D, 3D program.
Maria Fernanda Boycott, Cameron Chapas, Austin DeRosier, Aiden Godwin, Matthew Gorial, Madison Koch, David Duquie, Emily McLean, Milan Persha, Vienna Swenson, Maria White,
This concludes the graduates in Animation 2D, 3D program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the Culinary Management program.
Yazan Almograbi, Alexandra Bayshard, Samantha Gorison, Crystal Gray, Abigail Harder, Laquinder Kaur, Alyssa Lefrancois, Gracia Martinez, Kira Malash, Yue Juan Niu, Gabriel Patsoris, Tamara Restituto, Elena Staikovsky, Long Tran. Morgan Turner.
Augusta Ogami. Dana Jabahenji. Zachary Warford. Darian Harrison. This concludes the graduates in the culinary management program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the event management program.
Macy Al-Kasab. Rupinder Kaur Gill. Gunjot Singh Grover. Dwija Nayanbai Jani. Amandeep Kaur. Amandeep Kaur. Parminder Kaur. Rajdeep Kaur. Sarabjit Kaur. Vitold Korkuch. Tanuj Kumar. Nilam Nilam.
This concludes the graduates in the event management program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the fashion design technician program.
Lindsay Lozon. Caitlin McCauley. Cindy Nguyen Kim. Ozioma Cynthia Opala. Megan Rennie. Brendan Riley. Tegan Alyssa West.
This concludes the graduates in the fashion design technician program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the graphic design program.
Samantha Ainsworth. Kristen Cochran. Chelsea Dalton. Rihanna Dudas. Shanette Hansraj. Ronil Johnson. Basil Calmantis. Dave Noel. Gabrielle Paluk. Samantha Van Vroer.
This concludes the graduates in the graphic design program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the hospitality, hotel, and restaurant program.
Mandeep Kaur Banger. Dixit Bansal. Hardeep Singh Bansal. Sanket Patan. Shika Bava. Thomas Dwyer. Jitender Singh Gill. Harish Harish. Himanshu Himanshu. Jashanpreet Jashanpreet. Sukhbir Singh Kalir. Amanpreet Kaur. Gurkamalpreet Kaur. Harpreet Kaur. Jaspreet Kaur. Karamjeet Kaur. Kuljit Kaur. Namjot Kaur. Navjot Kaur. Navpreet Kaur. Navreen Kaur. Parminder Kaur. Pavandeep Kaur. Ramandeep Kaur. Rupinder Kaur. Dhananjay Khanna. Vabhav Kohli. Rajiv Kumar. Daritri Kirki Anand. Bharat Lal. Lovepreet Singh Madahar. Kaylee Moss. Minu Minu. Skylar Nephew. Jaskamaldeep Singh Nijar. Nisha Nisha. Peter Peter. Mohammed Robayat Hussain. Simranjit Singh Rikra. Ritu Ritu. Yash Mahesh Kumar Sajnani. Adashpal Singh. Arshdeep Singh. Devinder Singh. Gurkaran Singh. Hardeep Singh. Harjinder Singh. Harman Singh. Gurvinder Singh. Jagjit Singh. Jarmanjit Singh. Jasmeet Singh. Ladbrinder Singh. Mandeep Singh. Nishan Singh. Paramjit Singh. Sartaj Singh. Rajveer Singh. Simranpreet Singh. Sukhmeet Singh. Vijay Singh. Caitlin Snively. Vaishali Vaishali. Yash Yash. Vinay Sandhi.
This concludes graduates in the hospitality, hotel, and restaurant program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the journalism program.
Gracie Lowe's. Isabella Spadafora.
Cade Ryan. This concludes the graduates in the journalism program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the music theater performance program.
Aiden Coots. Lauren Hyman. Serena Rashiti.
This concludes the graduates in the music theater performance program. I have the honor to present the graduates in the travel tourism program.
Jennifer Elisa Ayel. Cassandra Beachy. Jared Bradley. Laura Charlton. Kira Flood. Alessia Guadagno. Sarah Labreche. Mackenzie Murdoch. Pavandeep. Molly Salt. Prabjot Singh. Kirsten Mary Skilton. Dakota Sweet. Tina Tao Trung.
Brooke Lowe's.
Harvinder Deep Singh. Baljit Kaur. Jasveer Kaur. Diksha Kapoor.
This concludes the graduates in the tourism travel program. I would now like to call upon Ruth Susanna, Chair, Zuckerman School of Information Technology.
Members of Board of Governors, on the recommendation of our teaching faculty, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduates for diplomas, certificates, and degrees from the Zuckerman School of Information Technology. I have now the honor to present the graduates in the Computer System Technician Networking.
Abhishek. Jyoti Anand. Mohanjit Kaur Bath. Devinder Singh Brar. Manpreet Singh Brar. Aiden Brown. Maulik Chimpanbai Buza. Harsimran Singh Chagar. Arapit Chaudhary. Deepkumar Chelabhai Chaudhary. Meet Manishbhai Dabi. Anita Devi. Sukhchand Singh Dillo. Don Doram. Mehakpreet Singh Gill. Parth Kiran Kumar Goswami. Janvi Hans. Vagmin Kumar Mukundbai Joshi. Baldeep Kaur. Dilpreet Kaur. Gagandeep Kaur. Gaganpreet Kaur. Armanpreet Kaur. Ishpreet Kaur. Kushpreet Kaur. Kirandeep Kaur. Kiranpreet Kaur. Lovepreet Kaur. Lovepreet Kaur. Manpreet Kaur. Manpreet Kaur. Palwinder Kaur. Pawandeep Kaur. Rajveer Kaur. Sandeep Kaur. Shinajpreet Kaur. Jaspreet Kaur Kangura. Jai Nitin Kumar Malavia. Harsimrandeep Singh Mali. Manav Manav. Subad Mando. Ria Mankotia. Anna Motia. Hazik Hussein Memon. Zakil Mohammed. Darsh Navanid Kumar Patel. Dhruv Kumar Bipin Bhai Patel. Harsh Ghanshyambai Patel. Jeet Sunil Kumar Patel. Meg Jayesh Patel. Nimish Penkai Kumar Patel. Raj Mukesh Kumar Patel. Riti Chandreshbhai Patel. Redhibin Jignesh Kumar Patel. Vishwa Rupesh Kumar Patel. Fraj Ghanshyambai Patel. Juan Carlos Ponce. Aditya Papuri. Vishal Sant Bilas. Chetan Preet Singh. Jashanpreet Singh Riyar. Athul Saju. Arshdeep Singh Sandhu. Ishan Sharma. Agyapal Singh. Baljinder Singh. Dharminder Singh. Gurdeep Singh. Kuljinder Singh. Gurpreet Singh. Anmol Singh. Gurpreet Singh. Tarun Kumar Senthil Kumar. Vishal Sharma. Gurinder Singh. Harjot Singh. Harkamal Singh. Harsimran Singh. Jashandeep Singh. Jaskaran Singh. Karamjit Singh, Lovepreet Singh, Manjot Singh, Manjot Singh, Narinder Singh, Navdeep Singh, Rajbir Singh, Ravanpreet Singh, Shanvir Singh, Tamandeep Singh, Yuvraj Singh, Sukhmanpreet Sokol, Eric Swiatashik, Rajnesh Kumar Thor, Omkar Vashisht, Harshdeep Singh,
Manpreet Singh, Harshmeet Singh, Shakshi Sharma, Gurpreet Kaur, Alexander Almeida. This concludes the graduation in the Computer Systems Technician Networking. I now have the honor to present the graduates in the Computer Systems Technology Networking.
Babar Ali, Aaron Shane Williams, Cale Cullen, Vito Cuzumano, Yusra El-Basir, Rakshak Gupta, Reginald Jr. Hernandez, Nicholas Karen, Chelsea Krieger, Ryan Mauroji, Michael Miller, Rohan Naeem, Michael Painter, Smith Patel, Mitchell Purdy, Orges Salu, Sophia Scott, Mackenzie Stewart, Jace Tyler, Joseph Villante,
That concludes the graduates in the Computer Systems Technology Networking. I now have the honor to present the graduates in the Data Analytics for Business.
Nagarjuna Ambati, Esther Aroibu, Ahmad Atala, Jamin Babaria, Bhavya Bablani, Rakeshwar Rao Bago, Roja Bandaru, Disha J. Bharat, Kinjal Bhatt, Himanshu Ravindra Bhavsar, Yash Bhavsar, Suresh Badhu, Vamsi Krishna Boju, Sai Krishna Rao, Shwetha Bampada, Mayur Brahmbat, Bhupesh Sainath Reddy, Anaga Chandran, Ramu Chekuri, Karthik Jerakuri, Monisha Chilamakur, Alok Suresh Chilka, Sanju Chowdhury Chinam, Prirak Satish Gentilvar, Brian Christian, Adrian Anthony De Silva, Arpan Das, Riddhi Deshpande, Nidhi Hiteshbai Danani, Eshwan Madhu Kishan, J. Rajesh Kumar Dudat, Prashant Elendula, Kevin Lee Galanita, Vishwas Gandhi, Uttaran Gangopadhyay, Rishu Garg, Nikita Garlapati, Hemant Sai Kumar, Ramya Gouda, Anish Gupta, Megha Gupta, Vishnu Verdhan Reddy Gurum, Ganesh Hedekar, Ayushi Jain, Vaibhavi Snehal Kumar Jarawala, Shiaule Jin, Akshay Joshi, Stella Joshua, Keval Kirjabai Kakadia, Monica Canchetti, Ashish Kapadia, Srika Chowdhury Kataragata, Amandeep Kaur, Mandeep Kaur, Manpreet Kaur, Parneet Kaur, Ramanpreet Kaur, Sanadeep Kaur, Anil Kumar Reddy, Vasu Vandan Kodakandla, Shri Sankirth Kururu, Prithvi Raj Kola, Saheli Vijay Kondi, Pooja Kunduru, Navneet Kumar, Ankur Sanjay Limbashia, Kartik Mahajan, Mahmad Ramis Mahmad Adim Malik, Krishna Surendra Malipudi, Venkatsai Mandava, Shane Baratikul, Mercy Matthew Cutty, Vishal Kumar Medavarapu. Pallavi Ravi Kumar Menon. Akshara Santosh. Arya Karael Sukumaran. Karan Kumar Menthula. Kushal Kumar Deepak Kumar Modi. Idris Mohammed. Haritha Momaneni. Prudvi Nadipuli. Naman. Nagarjuna Reddy Nuran. Shrikant Naranwe. Shiva Kumar Nedanuri. Reena Odidra. Rajesh Paba. Shatakshi Pachori. Abhishek Atmaram Pagade. Buttergav Pathak. Ali Patel. Deep Patel. Devanshi Patel. Himel Kumar Patel. Jay Kumar Ashvinbhai Patel. Kushbu Patel. Metanshi Dineshbhai Patel. Nidhi Ambarish Kumar Patel. Prachi Patel. Sarjan Rakeshbhai Patel. Viraj Kumar Dayanandbhai Patel. Vishal Patel. Sai Varsha Pati. Rishabh Dilip Patil. Pratik Reddy Patlola. Tejasvi Pedu. Sandeep Varma Pinmatsa. Revanth Pokuri. Ashrith Reddy Pareddy. Krishna Chaitanya Potla. Karthik Raja Radhakrishnan. Sonia Rajput. Mayuri Kanayalal Ramrakiyani. Navdeep Rani. Nivita Ravi. Vijayalakshmi Duryodhan Rohani. Shrutarshi Saha. Nikhil Sanagari. Ankush Saxena. Abelvir Kaur Sikon. Deep Karan Kumar Shah. Jurmil Sanjaybai Shah. Preet Kumar Rajesh Kumar Shah. Sayam Deepak Shambhuani. Brij Nitin Sheth. Dilpreet Singh. Hardeep Singh. Shrishti Singh. Siddharth Singh. Snehadeep Singh. Shashank Reddy Sakola. Rohit Soma. Meet Alpeshbhai Soni. Bhuvanesh Shripuram. Mohan Kumar Sura. Suraj Raj Suraj. Shiva Sai Chaitanya. Mohammed Tabshir. Anish Kumar Talata. Sonam Thakur. Jovan Louis Thelapilil. Shashi Kiran Tamalapali. Azim Adim. Vanshika. Mohammed Vakas. Divya Shri Vimala. Kunaksh Verma. Smita Verma. Sarabjit Singh Virk. Mushgan Yaftali. Sai Krishna Una. Upinder Yadav. Anusha Yaramseti. Carlos Jose Zurita.
That concludes the graduates in the Data Analytics for Business. I now have the honor to present the graduates in the Internet Applications and Web Development.
Jamila Al-Sadiq. Parita Vipulbai Amin. Eric Batiste. Dylan Chan. Michael Gani. Mati Ingulu. Rajvi Nilesh Modi. Jay Patel. Nikhil Kantibai Patel. Sankit Kumar Patel. Prathana Purav Patil. Yushwan Liu. Abhishek Paul Vincent. Terry Price. Yashvi Brijmohan Raja. Abby Roy. Ravi Bharatbhai Sangani. James Wright.
That concludes the graduates in the mobile Internet Applications and Web Development. I now have the honor to present the graduates in the Mobile Applications Development.
Zachary Allard. Siddharth Bajaj. Simranjit Kaur. Shane Klakanovsky. Yash Kumar. Forzana Mori. Ryan Murphy. Shelby Neal. Nigam Patel. Philip Rosen. Wusiman Yevelayan. Omar Youssef. Ravinder Kaur. Amrit Singh. Sahilpreet Singh.
That concludes the graduates in the Mobile Applications Development. I now have Gurpreet Singh from Computer Systems Networking. From Office Admin, Josephine Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the conferring of diplomas and certificates. At this time, I would like to reintroduce Ryan Peoples from the St. Clair College Alumni Association.
Well, you guys, you did it. On behalf of more than 125,000 St. Clair College graduates, I want to officially welcome you to the St. Clair College alumni family. Today officially begins the next stage in your journey that started here at St. Clair College. You will be joining thousands of graduates throughout Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent, Greater Toronto Area, Ontario, and the world. Our alumni are contributing to building, designing, caring, leading, entertaining, feeding, managing, and investing in workplaces and communities around the globe. When a business or organization hires an alumni, we could describe them as being Saint Strong. Stay connected with our Alumni Association, take advantage of the benefits of belonging, the special events, the giveaways provided just for you St. Clair College graduates. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, join us on LinkedIn, and be an active part of our family, our St. Clair College alumni family. Again, graduates, congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce Lindy Prindy, Executive Director, Center for Academic Excellence and Quality Assurance.
Could the audience please rise, if able, for the closing reflection? Please join me in this closing reflection. Together we ask that all our graduates be filled with joy and peace. May they have success and happiness throughout the years. May they bring honor and wisdom to their own lives, their families, their communities, and our country. And may they be filled with a desire to learn new things throughout their lives. We ask this according to the terms of our individual faith. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the fourth session of the 55th Annual Convocation of St. Clair College. We ask that the audience please remain seated until the graduates and faculty have left the main floor.